No.
I swear.
No, I won't take it in that way, guys.
You need to talk to someone about
I'm
this,
not
but that
taking
is
it in that way. So what up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Luke, and yes, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're back at it again at Primal Spirit Distillery, and I'm joined by
Stephanie Cooke off the hook. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Steph. So yes, guys, she's joining me today. I came across a very interesting video that I wanted a woman's opinion too, and I thought of Steph, of course. Because I know, yeah, she's got the facts, right?
Yeah, I'm representing all the women all across the world.
Exactly.
No pressure.
So guys, we're just going to be watching that video, then we'll give our opinion from there and our take from there. So let's get into it.
Welcome to my channel. Today's video, I am going to be talking about a subject that enters my mind a lot, unfortunately, and I wanted to speak about it honestly somewhere because I feel like it's not popular to address it honestly. The subject that I'm talking about, if you saw the title of this video, is pretty privilege. And for anybody who doesn't know, the concept of pretty privilege is that you basically get treated better in life the more attractive you are. I think I've always been aware that it's out there. I've always been aware that, people, specifically women, can use their looks as currency as they move through a patriarchal society. They can use it to get better mates. They can use it to get better jobs. They can use it to get jobs that regular looking females, regular looking women, I hate that I said females, who do I think I am? Regular looking women could never get, like being a hostess at an upscale club or, things of that nature. It didn't really bother me until I got a little older and I started to take stock of different things that I didn't have in my life, which I think we do all the time. You know, people compare themselves to other people. It happens. And I started to just think about all the things in my life that probably would...
What's your first point?
That is a 33-minute video. We're going through the whole video.
Not really. No.
She must have a lot to say about this.
It's just few points, just at the beginning that she has to say.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you think of the first
Why
one?
did you have me on the show talking about pretty privilege firstly? Let's talk...
Wait. While I was thinking about this, I was going through Instagram. Then I saw your video. I'm like,
okay.
Steph might be the right person for this
Okay.
topic.
But she's not lying. She isn't lying.
So you agree with what she's saying?
Like, pretty privilege is a result of men being men. No offense, because I have men in my family who are great. But men are visual creatures. And men are trendsetters. So you guys set the tone and we follow. Facts.
So are you trying to say pretty privilege, the whole pretty privilege notion is as a result of man?
Yeah, men's primal instinct. You guys like nice things.
Really?
Yeah, you say I'm lying.
I mean, no, I'm not saying, the thing is...
Who created a strip club?
It's man.
Yeah, because they like ass and nice looking titties and glitter and stuff, right?
Okay, yes.
So as a woman, you're like, okay, guys are attracted to this.
Yes.
Let me be attractive. And you change and you alter and you realize like, oh, I can make money off this. Now you also want to be involved in the business. Because I mean, when I say men are trendsetters, you guys were the first ones to open up companies and do amazing things for humankind. Women were oppressed.
I'm glad you're acknowledging the good.
Yeah, you guys are quite cool, you know?
Yeah, I know.
But when it comes down to it, when women are given the ability or the freedom to also flourish, we take note of you guys, you know? There are men who are CEOs, we also want to be as great as that. There are men who do certain things we also want to do.
Okay, so in other words, if I'm getting you right, let's put it simple, straightforward. Women are man pleasers.
I think we are created to please men. No, God, hey, look at God. No, but in society, we are groomed to be good women, good mothers, good wives. That's the first thing as a woman, you know. You're taken to do your hair so you can look a certain way. You're taken to church on a Sunday wearing a certain dress. In society, it's all these subliminal messages that tell you that you're made to make a man's life better.
But how many women would directly agree with that?
You don't have to agree with me to make it a fact. You can disagree with me, but it's still a fact, because even in our I think it's more of a archaic belief, but in our religion, in our cultural systems, it's like that. Women are basically there to not serve a man, but to make his life better. And you guys are the trendsetters. So if you say, I like a woman who has weave and that makes my life better, women are going to do what? Make your life better.
Okay, but don't you think a lot of, preferences amongst men are very much subjective? Because, I mean, let's compare it. In the Western world, women can expose themselves, right? We talk about is it the East? Yeah.
In the East?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of women have got their...
In the East, yeah? With the,
No, the East as the world.
East Africa, West.
Is it West?
The Americans?
No, not the Americans.
The other
East.
ones.
Yeah.
The Arabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Arabs.
Just making sure we understand what's up, because I'm Eastgate?
No, not the East. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Arab world,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
A lot of women
Middle
have...
East.
Have the world, not only Middle East,
Okay,
you know that,
other
right?
East.
The whole entire East is like more conservative.
The Asians also, I get it. Yeah, I feel you.
So they're not that exposed and loud, right? They have different preferences when it comes to women. So now, by that very statement or comparison, don't you think it wouldn't be fair to say men are ultimately visual creatures? Because within this, two setting, man prefers something different from the woman.
They prefer something different, but it's still a visual appeal that goes for them. Like, for example, with the Asians, right? I'm sure they had geishas, their versions of prostitutes, and what they thought looked pretty was like the washed out white face with fully clad. It was just their preference, but it was still according to their visual appeal.
Oh yes, just thinking about it. You know the Chinese at one point, right? Their beauty standards was women would
small feet and small hands. How crazy!
Like small feet.
They used to literally break their feet. And
I know. I saw that.
Excuse my French.
I know that, and they would I don't know what they call the whole process, but they would put their feet together and sort of
binding them. It was like binding them. Yeah.
That was like a beauty standard.
It's crazy. And
now crazy.
Now we have twerking. So the world evolves in different ways, right?
Exactly. As I say, we really can't say it's a primordial thing that men have, because I mean, centuries over and over again, it keeps on changing. The preference and the beauty standard, or what she's talking about, pretty privilege, keeps on somehow changing. It evolves in different manner, and pretty privilege is literally defined differently in different settings.
Yeah, but it still exists. But I hear what you're saying.
You get me, right?
Yeah.
It still exists, but it literally depends on the trend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facts. That's true. But at the end of the day, what you were saying is that you get more opportunities based on what men basically find attractive.
Okay, let's go back. Let's try and rephrase that.
This is basically men, because I mean, no woman is like, oh my gosh, you didn't comb your hair. No. Only a man will take note of the fact that a woman didn't comb her hair. Let's be serious.
No.
Facts.
No.
I literally, I can, for example, I'm just going to take myself, okay? With my sister, I can see her in the morning and I think she's the most beautiful thing ever, but she hasn't combed her hair. It's not going to be the same from a guy's perspective.
Okay, do you think this preference is as a result of the most dominated preference in society, and men just adopt that as part of their preference?
Guys are the trendsetters, so what you guys say goes. Even though we have these feminist rights and #MeToo movements, there's still a power in being a man that we cannot take away from you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Of course, they want to withdraw that. Yeah.
You can't, as much as you want to paint it in pink, it can never be taken away. Like, as a woman, you cannot be a man. As a man, you cannot be a woman. There's just certain roles and things. You cannot give birth.
A lot of people would disagree to that, Steph.
Can you give birth?
Oh, by the way, there is a new thing that's coming up. So uterus transplant.
Oh.
So man can actually get.
I'm sure this is going to be a very difficult procedure, but it's not a natural thing. So naturally we have roles, and but it's not. It's like naturally you cannot change your gifts.
Okay, supposedly a man gave birth. Would you still consider it birth or not birth?
Would I consider it birth?
Yeah.
It's like, is it
I don't know. Am I making sense, right?
Yeah, like I get what you mean, but would
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be very interested to see that happen, but I would know that it's not natural. That's what I would know.
But how is it not natural? How is it
Because
not natural?
if you had to change something in you to do something, it's not naturally what you are supposed to be doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you had to, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody in the LGBTQ plus community. I don't want to do that.
You see, that's where I don't want to go.
Yeah, because it's a very sensitive topic.
Like we're getting too political. But my point is, man's preference is determined by the overall accepted preference or standard of society. So it's not a primordial thing, because I think it's as a result of your conditioning.
Yeah. An environment definitely plays a big part, because back in the day, what was beautiful in Africa was boobs hanging out with beautiful beads, and then we were westernized, and then that concept of beauty changed.
Colorism, let's talk about colorism. You see that already?
Well, as a society, we're recognizing that color isn't beauty, which is facts. Now we're becoming a lot more inclusive, because I think if you can think back to like 2001, where the beauty standard was told that you had to be skinny and look like Kate Moss, and now 21 years later you look at it and now the beauty standard is Nicki Minaj with the big bum. So it's just accepting our power in like different strides, and I think as Black people, as African people, we are now understanding that we don't have to be told what's beautiful. I know it's not preferable, but it's because white people made media. I mean, sorry, not white people, but the other people made media, and they basically control the narrative. But it's our responsibility as a people to say, like, no, that's not what is our narrative. I want to see someone who looks like me and is as beautiful as me, no matter what the color is. So I do hear you, but I think that argument is perpetuated by racism, and racism came from someone who told us that you're not pretty enough.
Do you think it's racism, or it's as a result of... Okay, let me not get into the whole aspect of businesses and the marketing aspect, because, I mean...
I definitely do think it's racism. We're just going to call it something else, package it in a different way, but it's racism. Like, I feel like Black people can also be racist towards one another. It's because you do not love yourself enough that you're going to say to someone else, oh, your color of your skin is a problem. And it's like, what? With the same WhatsApp group, fam. I don't understand. Xenophobia is the silliest thing. I don't know, whoever invented that.
Okay.
Let's not get
let's not get too deep. No, but you get me, right?
Yeah,
so when I came across a video, right, and so we're talking about this, and well, I acknowledge that there's something called pretty privilege, but I don't think it's more like embedded within man, because we can see pretty privilege literally changes in different settings.
Yeah.
It depends on what society deems as beautiful, right? So when I came across a video, I was just like, well, I acknowledge that, but then again, we need to look at the different side of the story, which is, it depends on where you're at.
Yeah. Do you want to date someone who doesn't look after themselves?
No, I need you to be responsible.
Pretty privilege could be responsible.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if
it's dependent on us.
Yeah, and also like the interpretation of it, because if you had to see someone who is dressed to the nines and you'll call her a slay queen, and I'll be like, she's just pretty. or she's just looking after herself, she's just responsible, but you're like, nah, she's working. She's putting in extra time right now. So, yeah, that's it. It's an open-ended one.
Okay, let's continue watching the video.
Let's do that. But it does exist. I must say that it does exist.
No, it does. I mean, I'm acknowledging that, but it just manifests differently from depending on your what can I say, environment. Because in India, the most preferable like beauty standard, or it's the light-skinned individual. The dark ones, not really much.
I think if we look at history, right, like it's like that across the whole world. That lighter in complexion people were always favored more, like the house Negro versus the field Negro. That is a concept of racism that has been perpetuated by colonialists, and it's something that hasn't washed out. Instead, it's seeped into our society, and we just start naming it different things like colorism when it's just racism. It's just not accepting the fact that people are different, and it doesn't make you a better or a worse person based on your differences.
Okay.
It would have been a little bit easier if I had some pretty privilege. So I want to make something clear before I go forward. I am not at all saying in this video that I find myself unattractive. I actually think of myself as a okay looking person, and I can really dial it up, when necessary. Here, by the way, is a picture of me celebrating my most recent birthday. But pretty privilege is not something that you yourself can decide that you have, if that makes sense. Like a lot of privileges, it's something that society just gives you based on what the systems of society already are, like before you even got there. So no matter how confident I might be, no matter how much I might spend on a certain type of wig or a certain makeup application style, I'm never going to have pretty privilege. And it does bother me, and I wanted to be honest about it. I think so often, especially with Black women, we're told to just, keep your head up, sis. Don't drop your crown, sis. Oh no, not you, sis. You're strong. You're beautiful. But because of that, there's really no space sometimes just to say, ouch, like that hurts my feelings. It hurts that I'll never ... And especially for something as superficial as just the way that I look. So I wanted to take a moment in this video and talk about my experience in life, not having pretty privilege. And I really made this video for anybody that feels the same way. I know I'm not the only person. I've read articles online and I've seen comment sections where I know I'm not the only person. However, I know right now a lot of the videos.
Have you ever experienced pretty privilege? Like on a day where you're looking fly, something really great happens to you.
The funny thing is, Steph, right? Personally for me, right? I don't know. I never grew up with that in mind. Like, oh, I look this way.
It's very orientated towards
like
women.
Personally, I was not really conscious of that. Like, I didn't walk around thinking, oh yeah, and I'm like,
yeah.
No, I didn't. Like, it didn't really.
Yeah, I feel you. I think as a little girl, as every little girl, you always get told like, oh, you look so pretty when your hair's done, or oh, you look so pretty when you're wearing a cute dress. It starts from a young age, and that you can't take it away from a grown woman knowing that, like, okay, I get treated a certain way when my hair's done, or okay, I get treated a certain way when I'm wearing a pretty dress. That's pretty privilege. That's basically what pretty privilege comes down to. And I told you before I got here, I'm usually chilling in sweats and like looking like a hobo. This is pretty privilege. To be here is pretty privilege. I only got dressed up because I was gonna,
If you define it like that,
yeah.
But then, with regards to what she's saying, she's focusing on the beauty and the facial features, like your phenotypical making.
Yeah.
She's literally more focused on that. She's not looking at other aspects of it.
Yeah.
And don't you think that literally, that's the main, what can I say? That's the main narrative that is being perpetuated in the West.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you're not shaped in this way, you don't fit the pretty privilege, the pretty privilege, because there's literally just one box that identifies pretty privilege. Beautiful features.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
But how many people acknowledge that? Because constantly, if I'm being told by the media that the perfect woman is this, and the perfect guy is this, what am I supposed to believe?
Now, this is a personal issue you need to talk to someone about.
No, think about it. That's what
but I hear what you say.
Talking about.
I definitely hear you, because now this comes down to personal preference. But now you ask yourself, how am I supposed to have these preferences when I'm being told what is beautiful?
Wait, preference. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about preference. I read as I was doing just, schoolwork. Gen Z or millennials, right?
Okay.
40% of them, literally across the globe, have the same type of preferences.
Okay. Which is?
No, like preferences.
Oh, just
in terms of products. Yeah, in general.
Okay.
In terms of interest.
Okay.
That's scary.
Is it?
No, it is.
No, it's normal.
Imagine 40% of millennials, right, having the same type of opinion and perspective towards life.
Think about it like this. Programming is what creates preferences. We have been given access to MTV. So what do you think is going to happen?
Exactly.
We all watch the same MTV. It's just based on the environment and the access you have. So it makes sense.
So it goes back to all of us have been programmed to think that the proper standard of beauty privilege is this.
Pretty privilege is that, yeah.
And how dangerous is that?
I think for the kids that are coming, it's worse, because now you're no longer being told you're so intelligent, you're so pretty, and you're going to be basing all of your you're going to be basing everything that you have in life on the way you look, and not what you can do with what you have.
Yeah, because what you can do and what you can have literally won't open a lot of doors for you nowadays.
So we're going to blame men for pretty privilege. Yes, we are. Sorry, but we have to do it. Reason being is because you guys are the only one who care. Women don't care if you look cute or not.
No. I won't blame men. I personally believe
you have to stand up for your people.
No, I feel like I only take responsibility when women acknowledge their part in all this. Because women tend to be very
pleasing you. No. That is our part. Our part is that we love to see you happy. Sorry, not sorry.
No, but how many women will really acknowledge that?
Whether you want to acknowledge it or not doesn't make it a non-fact.
A feminist, do you think a feminist will directly say, yes, I'm living my life to please man?
Yeah, of course she's not going to say that.
Exactly.
Of course not. But we know.
So you mean at the core of...
I'm kidding. I'm a feminist. I'm kidding. No, I'm joking. We're not so backward, okay? Like, Adam and Eve's time is way gone. But I think at this point of evolution, women they are entitled, and they do, to an extent, do everything that pleases them. But we love compliments. We love being acknowledged. We love being told, oh my God, babes, So there is maybe 10% from that feminist that does do things to get appraisal or approval from, if you are not lesbian, the opposite sex.
Now it goes back to...
We're just being LGBTQ friendly.
I understand.
Plus.
And now it goes back to the fact that women will compete in trying to get man to praise them in response, and that also contributes to the whole narrative of pretty privilege.
We wouldn't have to compete if you guys just did it naturally, right? And you guys made competition. Nobody made competition in this world besides guys.
How so?
Guys are so competitive by nature. Whether it's work related, whether it's studying, whether it's personal, guys are just competitive by nature. And
that I understand, but how do women come in?
You guys are trendsetters. I'm going to tell you this again. You guys make the trends. We come through. We want to follow them and make them better. That's basically what it is.
So women are basically competing with men.
Now, I can say to an extent of our liberation, we are... competing is such a negative word.
Why?
Because it sounds like you can't compete where you can't compare. Firstly, we can't compare to guys, but I feel like we are inspired.
They can literally
say it like that. We are inspired by the males who have gone before us and done amazing things.
No, they're not acknowledging that. You know that a lot of
It's
women
not competition.
discredit
It's
that.
inspiration.
No, they don't even take inspiration from man.
If you don't take inspiration,
They don't call it that. They say we're trying to break loose from man's bondage because man held women for the longest.
Yeah, because you guys were haters. I was gonna say it. You guys were haters back in the day. You know, I actually think if men and women were allowed, no, but let's say it like this: if women were allowed to flourish as equal partners, the way that men were allowed to flourish, and they weren't oppressed or like kept quiet, and I think we would be living in a different society. We wouldn't be having strip clubs and strippers and things like this. We would be having more empowered families. I think the system of family would be a very powerful forefront for the entire society. If men weren't haters. But they were like, oh my God, she made a dude better. Let's just make her think she's not worthy.
No.
Yeah.
No. Let me take this.
Like, oh, you're giving birth, girl. You're so weak. In the meantime, you guys don't even know how to do that.
Well,
I don't mean to offend anybody because, like, you guys are great. Guys are great. Guys are amazing.
okay, I don't know what to say.
But just back in the day,
I don't know how to say this.
so much.
I don't know how to say this because the thing is, I don't want to offend a lot of people and I don't want haters.
Maybe you should.
Girls, ladies, I mean, I want a lot of ladies watching my channel. So
Offend
please,
us, please.
let me not
Offend us.
Let me not be talk. The thing is, I'll hold my opinion.
No,
I
don't.
The thing is, I don't want to be toxic, but it should be told, right? I don't think. I think it goes back to what you stated. All this resulted in the need to please man, right? And I feel like it's more primordial, like it's embedded within women on an instinctual basis. So it's not something that women picked up as a result of man acting in a certain manner.
Well, the biggest influence in our society is our religion and our practices, right? And a lot of the times, women are not equal in religion.
Also in culture as well.
And in culture. So that's where the problem started, What if the real story is that Eve was made before Adam? Changes the entire culture.
That's the Lilith story. Lilith?
And I heard about that. I don't know where these facts came from, but I did hear about Lilith.
Well, it's
where God wasn't happy with her.
It's a mythical folktale within the Jewish tradition.
Yeah.
So Lilith came before Adam. No, rather, because Lilith was created after Adam, and Lilith wanted authority.
Quick question, sorry. Does Adam not have a mom?
No.
Oh, I bet you get my point. Where did it come from? I know we're not going to religion right now, but I'm just saying, women birth men.
Adam is literally not the first. He's not the first human.
Yeah, facts. Okay, now that we know that, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, please comment right now.
Yeah, you should comment. Yeah, Adam is not the first human. So the first humans were
giants.
No, they're kids.
What?
Adam and Eve's children. Those were the first humans. Yeah.
So what were Adam and Eve?
We're not humans. We can't consider them humans because they didn't give birth to them.
What I read in the Bible when I read that part is that God made the first living spirits. He breathed
life into them. Yeah. No, biologically, Adam can't be acknowledged as a human.
What are you saying?
Yeah, because where was this umbilical cord? Think about it.
But he had a penis, no?
Yeah, he did. How do we know he had?
I don't know. But I just had to ask. I don't know. Like, I wasn't there. But I'm guessing because him and Eve ate the fruit, that is a metaphor for getting jiggy.
What if they reproduced in one way or another?
They ate the fruit, dog.
What fruit did they eat?
The one that they weren't supposed to. I don't know. All I know is God was mad at Eve, and then he gave her her menstrual cycle, basically. That was my interpretation of what
Are you
happened.
joking?
I swear, that's what happened. I swear.
What are
God
we?
is so mad. He's like, oh, you got period.
What are we getting into, guys?
That's a lot that we're
No.
getting into.
The thing is, no, it was not the menstrual cycle. God just said,
You're
said,
gonna have pain when you give birth.
when you give birth, not during your menstruation, guys.
What do you think menstruation is? It's preparation for birth.
I understand, but there's labor pains as well.
Yeah, that's the period on like steroids.
No.
I swear.
No. I won't take it in that way,
You
guys.
need to talk to someone about
I'm
this,
not
but that
taking
is
it in that
basically.
way.
I'm telling you, these are facts. These are facts. Like when you have labor pains, it's basically like being on your cycle, but like amplified to the max.
Okay, well, I know. Okay, no, let's not get into that.
You can ask these questions. It's a safe space. We don't judge, you know.
Going back to Adam and Eve's story, right? I felt like God cursed the woman with not period pains, guys. It was labor,
Okay.
the pain that came with it. Because according to the Jewish tradition, right? When the
Are
left
you Jewish?
No.
Okay.
But I do read.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't be Jewish. I'm black.
What does that mean? Jesus was Jewish and he was black.
Huh?
Jesus was a black Jew.
Well, I don't know about I don't know. No.
Oh, no?
No. Let's not even get into religion.
The Bible
'cause
comes from
personally-
Africa.
What?
Yeah?
What?
I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chris.
Chris, don't be offended.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not joking. Because it's true. But like, I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody.
Okay,
it's true.
but on a serious note,
Yeah.
I know there are black Jews, right? I mean, Nigeria has, Zimbabwe has.
I don't know that.
There are also, Chinese Jew individual.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, there's Chinese Christians, so anything is possible.
Yeah, no, but by lineage, actually.
Oh.
So it's not by conversion, no.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
We'll take your word for it until we start Googling these things.
Oh, no, you should do your research, actually. So, yeah. So
I came here unprepared for this. Continue.
I know. I was unprepared for your reaction as well. So, but that's it. Back to the topic. Yeah, because we went
No, you
too
were
far.
saying something about Jewish.
Oh yeah,
Jewish-
yeah. According to their whole tradition, right? When they came out of the garden, right? These are just manuscripts that were written. I don't know how authentic they are, but when they came out of the garden, they had over 30 something kids.
Hectic.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? Can I ask a question and I might offend?
What?
Do you think Adam and Eve were brother and sister?
Oh, God.
I'm
you
sorry.
have to ask that.
I had to ask this question. Okay, we're not going to ask this question because it's not part of the topic. I just had to ask. Okay, let's not ask that question. Okay, let's move on. Stick pretty privileged.
Damn.
Equal blown.
Yeah, she just. When I look
don't
at
wanna
that
go
story,
there, right?
I'll think at your question. Like I'll keep on thinking about you.
Like, if I'm just thinking about the metaphor behind this. If it was the rib, Adam's rib, right?
Yeah.
It's your blood, your bone. It's your family. I don't know. I was just thinking about it like that.
I've never looked at it that way. Hey? No, seriously, I've never.
And they weren't supposed to eat the fruit because
And
they were forbidden.
I say,
which
I don't
means-
consider them.
or not siblings, but family.
No, but remember, as I said, I don't consider them human beings.
That's weird.
No, but think about
It's
it.
really weird. Why?
I mean, these standards are on the basis of being human, that you can't reproduce with your,
But look, back in the day, that wasn't an abnormal thing. You even have like your Western empires and stuff, even your Chinese empires, where they basically kept the cousins close so that they can breed.
But those
a
are
family
cousins,
line.
remember?
It's still blood, dog.
I understand, but it's a bit different from Adam and Eve.
Did you watch
remember?
Game of Thrones?
No.
You see, okay, the queen was shagging her bro, and then they made a king, and then the king was the like crazy king because he was, I don't know if it was like that, but that was my interpretation. The reason he was crazy was because of the mix.
Oh, really?
I just feel like it. We're digressing so.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, but back to it.
Pretty privileged.
I don't even know how we got to Adam and Eve. How did we get there?
I feel like Eve was a really she loved her nigger and she didn't take the fruit. Because can I tell you why? She was the fall guy.